The gameplay you are currently watching in the background is me doing some Season of the Defiance Battlegrounds. Uh, I've been putting this off for a while, making my first video. Destiny is dear and true to my heart. I love Bungie, I love the game, and this might be a little bit of a longer video. And I know it sucks because it's my first one, but there are some things that I need to say, the direction that Bungie is heading. Some of it is good, some of it is bad. First and foremost, I'll give you my thoughts on the Lightfall campaign and story and raid. Um, if I had to rate Lightfall as a DLC, I would probably give it a 5 or a 6 out of 10. If the only reason the 6 is even there is the missions were fun. I had fun playing the campaign. I completed the campaign on Legendary with all three characters solo. It was fun. It was a little upsetting because it felt more like a Strand tutorial instead of a actual DLC. I still don't understand how the light actually fell um, in the title Lightfall, but maybe that'll be explained in later seasons or week by week on one mission, which I think has to change. Um, the Strand as a super feels good. Uh, it feels whole. It doesn't feel broken. It there's a lot of potential, especially in PvE. PvP, I think the grapple hook would be good just for like if you're in a bad situation, you can use it to escape, or you can use it to engage. I think overall it's a pretty good super, pretty good new subclass, and I am a little interested to see if there's any more coming uh, before Destiny is over, uh, or if there's another one coming before the Light and Dark saga ends. Um, the missions, like I said before, they were engaging and fun, but man, there was no story. Most of us had, and I know this is said, and this horse has been beaten before, but no one knew what was going on. There were people upset about that. No one knows what the witness did to the traveler. No one knows what the veil actually is. It just kind of a little bit rushed and said, "Hey, we can fall back on Strand, and that'll be our key selling point, Strand." What about the story in the campaign? We'll just make it a Strand tutorial. That's what it kind of felt like. Um, I love the new strike. The new strike was fun. I actually don't mind these battlegrounds. The raid. I watched the world's first competition. Looks interesting. Looks fun. It looks engaging, and the room where you first saw the witness was amazing to see, and to actually have that as an encounter. I don't know. I don't know if I'm on the same footing as a lot of other guardians that when I say I don't want the raid to be over complicated, but I don't want it to be under complicated. Like there's a happy medium that I like raids to be. And do I think this one fits it? I don't know. Like I said, I haven't completed a raid in since Destiny 1. My fire team that I used to complete all of my raids with, they're not on the game anymore. Most of them aren't. Um, some of the characters, uh, I wish we'd have got to know Rohan more. I wish there were more, especially since he kind of felt found something in the Black Garden. Uh, could have told us that from the beginning, just stating the obvious. But Nimbus is probably one of the worst characters Bungie has ever made. Uh, that Nimbus is difficult to be around. Mainly, it's the writing of his voice lines. They're not good. And then you have Osiris, with the mission that Rohan dies in. When we're jumping up to get to the radial mass, Osiris's character saying, "You and Rohan are our only hope." Sounds robotic. It's awful. Um, there was, I think, in that mission a opportunity that was missed. Uh, During the campaign, when we're learning about Strand and we overexert ourselves, we become exhausted. But at the end of the campaign, we gain the ability to control Strand and let it flow. And when we go back through that mission, we should be able to save Rohan, especially since, like I said before, the Black Garden's involved, the Vex are involved. You have Osiris, which during his this would tie into Osiris's Black Forest season, where he's the Infinite Forest. Y'all, but Destiny can mess with time, and I think that would have been so amazing to use the Black Forest or the Infinite Forest, yeah, the Infinite Forest, to find the timeline to where we could save Rohan. And then you would have to ask, what would that change dynamically in the game? That I think that was a slightly missed opportunity. I think a lot of people are still wondering. We kind of know, but what is Zavala? What is the Vanguard? Crow. We kind of know what Kaido's doing because she's helping us. Love my girl. The Queen is just making a light source over at the farm. Um, what is Petra doing? She's kind of just having a vacation over at the Dreaming City. Um, there, I think there are too many questions, right, with the story itself. That's why I lean towards the 5, but it'd still be acceptable to give it a 6 out of 10 on the Lightfall campaign and DLC as a whole. Uh, the second thing that I'm going to talk about, though, is directly to Bungie developers and directly to Bungie management. I don't care how this gets to you. I don't care if you see this by accident. I don't care if you see this, if someone clips this and sends it directly to them. But this needs to be said, and I'll be the first to say it. Stop putting your ideology and your political views in your game. I'll have to repeat that probably multiple times during this video, but this should be pretty simple. Stop making political messaging or political ideology in your game. Majority of gamers play games to escape the real world, to live in their own fantasy, to become guardians and to save or to experience the light and dark saga and to save the world. We're We're pretending to be these guardians. And this is our moment to escape everything that's happening in our own lives. And then you force it down our throat again. You bring the real world into your game. What we're having to deal with on a day-to-day basis, state to state, every day, from college to the army. They have hearings about this in Congress. And if you don't pay attention, cool. If it doesn't bother you, cool. But there are many guardians that tell me that they will not spend another dime on Destiny as long as this homosexuality, LGBTQ, gender affirming pronoun political push is in the game. Now, you can call them people hateful, you can call them bigots, you can call them whatever you want. But they don't push their beliefs on you, and you shouldn't push your beliefs on them. The thing about Destiny 1 that I loved so much was we could have a fire team filled with anybody. I could go to the lighthouse with anybody. We didn't care what political affiliation you were. We didn't care what color you were. We didn't care what sexual orientation you were. We didn't care what your pronouns were. As long as you were where you were in that raid on that trials map and you got the kills, job well done. And Destiny and Bungie have multiple times came out in twabs and tweets and bringing up their political bias, which everything we're fed nowadays is from one side of the aisle. Everything. Is some of it right? Who knows? Is some of it wrong? Who knows? Who cares? We're playing a video game to escape that. When you jump in my fire team, I'm not going to ask you what sexual orientation you are. I'm not going to ask you your pronouns. I'm not going to ask you if you have Gallahorn or what guns are you running. If I invite you to my fire team, we're going to play Destiny. But then you hear a mission where it confuses some people, where Osiris is calling Nimbus they. Why is that in there? Now, I don't know who writes the Warmind comic or if it was said in game, but apparently Anna Bray is a lesbian. Why is that in there? Debram and Mark get to go on double dates. Why is that in there? What does that do? And if anybody in the comments say, "Well, that's character development," no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't develop a character. It honestly doesn't. Your sexual orientation, your political affiliation is not character development. Character development is going through a hard time like Zavala and his wife, where his son died. Character development is Crow as Aldrin shooting Cade 6, but then coming back as a Guardian. Why did he come back? Sexual orientation is a preference. It's not an identity. It's not about your development as a human being. If that's what you see as character development, then you don't know how to write a character, and it shows. If all the Guardians and all the Destiny fans who are watching this know anything about character development, one of the best characters Bungie has ever made was Cade 6. He said exactly what we were thinking most of the time. When you had the colonel and the chicken, I wish I could pet him at the tower. But when you had the colonel and the chicken, and when he made those little funny little snippets at Eris Morn, when he made those little comments to Amanda Holiday about the stealth drive, when we went and found the Ace of Spades in his secret hideout. And there were more stories. Why is there 6 versions of Cade? A lot of people in the Destiny community, most probably should know by now, but when you say like Banshee 44, he was rebooted 44 times or erased 43 times or something to that effect there as an EXO. Why was Cade remade 6 times? And these are the questions that I have that would progress character development. Me knowing that your pronouns are they them, or me knowing what you like in the sheets is not character development. So once again, I'll ask nicely. I'm not trying to be a dick about this. I'm not. I know I'll probably get some hate from the mob on YouTube, but take your political messaging out of video games, please. Um, the big topic though today that I wanted to talk about though is competitive play, or the lack of competitive play in Destiny. I know you just added the competitive playlist, and with the new ranking system, good start, not what we want. The way that I've always viewed competitiveness or competitive playing or player to player PvP, uh, it's a gentleman's handshake really. It's a double-edged sword. Uh, Everybody basically is on equal footing, and may the best man win. That is the art of competitive play. Fortnite does this with their weapons. If you both have a green tier weapon that's the same name, they're going to do the same damage. If you have 2 gold tier weapons, they're going to do the same damage. All the weapons are balanced. Um, there are, you might be a better builder, but that's movement. Uh, most of your games have a way to get back to even or equality. The outcome basically will eventually rely on skill and some luck. Call of Duty, for example, I've always used this example when talking to people that don't understand what I'm talking about, is these battle royales, which I'm not a fan of, and I don't want Destiny to ever have a battle royale, please God. Uh, but the battle royale scene, like, do I understand it? Yes. Do I want to play it? No. I don't feel like it's that good of a competitive nature because there's no reward. There's nothing you're grinding for. Okay, you get the win. You're the last team to survive. You're the last person to survive. What do you get out of it? You get a win. You get a little tally mark or a number that say, "Hey, you've won 6 times." Okay, what do I get for it? Oh, nothing. You just get to go back in and do it again. Wait, I don't get anything for it. No, just go back in and do it again. I don't get like a cool skin. No, you just queue back up and get back in there. Oh, okay. That sounds fun. Um, and Destiny is I think has done a great job of mixing a genre that normally a first person shooter and an RPG and an MMO type, kind of blending them together as a looter shooter. I think they've done a fantastic job. However, Just because you've done something amazing doesn't mean that one thing has to suffer. PvP gets no love. I get told by my fire team, who we play trials every weekend, they are on this game constantly more than I am, that they feel like there is that Bungie does not care about PvP. Do I understand where they're coming from? Yes. Do I think that's true? No. I think Bungie cares. I just think they don't really honestly don't know what to do about it. Because too many people want too many different things. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. We can hold Bungie accountable for a lot of things, yes, but some of it has to fall on the player base too. And the competitive PvP nature of Destiny, some of these players are ruthless, and they don't want anybody going to the lighthouse. They don't want anybody finishing raids. They they're selfish, and I get it. They want that title of look what I did, and that's okay. But the competitive nature of Destiny needs to be addressed. We're back to ability spamming. We're back to hunters wearing Grasp of Amakara or young Amakara spawns. Um, Throwing a trip mine, someone running into it, throwing another trip mine, someone running into it, throwing another trip mine. I think there was one engagement. I threw 6 trip mines. I didn't get a kill, but I threw 6 of them. Did almost 2,000 damage. Uh, you have warlocks, and I know one of my buddies is going to be mad for me saying this, but their icicle build, where they're throwing stasis turrets every second, it feels like, where they're freezing supers out of air, with a melee or their rift, uh, Titan barricades and the overshields that they're allowed to get, the shoulder charge on all 3 Titan subclasses, which one blinds you and you can't see anything for a hot minute. Every class in the game has a build right now that is ability based. It's based off of your abilities. And I think in like a social environment or like a 6v6 environment, is that fine? Yeah, that's okay. Go throw your supers, go throw your grenades, go ignite people. Um, you know, use don't use as much gunplay as you need to. That's fine. I think in competitive, you need to side with the guns more. You've already limited the special ammo economy. Snipers get 2 shots. I don't know how much shotguns get. I don't know how much Jotun or fusion rifles get. But it's a little strange to me that my sniper, I can 2-shot body someone. So I get 2 shots. But my wish ender can 2-shot body someone. And I can see through walls. And I get in unlimited ammo. There's no consistency in some of the weapons. What are you considering a bow? I'm not saying touch it in PvE. PvE, if you want to give bows unlimited ammo, go for it. PvP, I think bows need some type of ammo economy. I shouldn't be able to come around the corner, know where you are behind the wall, peek in, shoot you in the body, get in cover. You try to rush me or try to hide. I see you through the wall. I peek back in, shoot you in the body again, and you're dead. So I think bows are in a pretty awkward spot. The Le Monarch to me is basically just a an advanced version of the D1 meta Thorn. It was a sniper in D1. If most of you don't know, Thorn wasn't a hand cannon in Destiny 1. It could compete at sniper ranges. And you would two tap somebody and then walk away because the burn would kill them. But I think that was just replaced with the Monarch. Uh, and I'm not saying, kill bows, and I'm not saying kill the damage or kill the game style. I'm just saying let's make an ammo economy. If I'm allowed as a sniper 2 shots, well, give bows 6. They're a little. Some of their aim assist is better and bullet magnetism is better, but give them 6. And then if they run over a primary or a secondary or however you want to do it, they get a couple shots or 3 shots back, whatever. I'm not saying like completely kill bows in PvP. I'm just saying the balance the it's a simple balance fix, I think, for bows. I know Bungie recently stated that they're going to address submachine guns since playing Iron Immortal, or I'm sorry, Iron Banner this week. This is not. This doesn't even feel like Destiny anymore. It feels like the Immortal show. We played a couple games of Momentum Clash, and people were using the Immortal Adept. We were playing Iron Banner. People were using the Immortal Adept. We'd go out to Neomuna. People are using the Immortal Adept. Like, okay, is it that good? Yeah, it really is. It's really difficult to contend with. Oh, what are you going to use? A shotgun? No, you're too far away to use a shotgun. You have to get closer. The Immortal Adept can still kill you. You're going to use a hand cannon? Nope, you're still in range of the Immortal Adept or the Teraba or the Ikolos. Um, you're going to use a fusion rifle? Nope, still in range. You're going to use a pulse rifle? No, I can get in range. Oh, I mean, we played a map like Volstock, that big snow Iron Lord map, and people are still using the Immortal Adept, moving behind cover, going into the playing the caves, and it's becoming a problem very quickly. Um, the main problem weapon wise that I see that Bungie is going to struggle with consistently year after year is the balancing of weapons. I don't think they'll ever get it right. I honestly don't. It is a tall task indeed to ask of Bungie, because most of your maps right now, and a lot has to do with the maps. Some of it has to do with the maps. A lot of your maps though are designed for those 35 to 15 meter engagements. Maps like Whittle's Court and Ballstock, you don't see that often anymore. So it's most of your engagements are between that 35 to 15 meters. And oddly enough, it doesn't take too many steps to get within 26, 27 meters, which is where submachine guns kind of just sit. Um, you might be able to challenge it with like something like the Drang, and that's probably the only one. Uh, but I think that Bungie's going to struggle for a while to get PvP weapon balancing where it needs to be, honestly. And there are other guns you can use right now, but with the Immortal being added and the Icolos and Terraba, and until their range or their stability or handling whatever attribute it is that allows it to be so steady, which I need Bungie to go to a gun range and ask for an Uzi. Tell me how fast you can shoot it accurately. Um, I think SMGs are going to remain dominant for the foreseeable future, which is not fun. Um, but once again, I'm not here to just critique Bungie. Like here's an idea. You had Shroud, one of the best PvP competitive PvP players in the world, known for multiple games throughout the world. Uh, even stating that he doesn't even know that think that there's a PvP dedicated team at Bungie. I'll let that sink in. Shroud doesn't think that there is a dedicated PvP team at Bungie. Um, he even said something that me and my friends have suggested multiple times. Let's make a game mode, take away the shield, or take away the grenades, take away the supers, take away the rifts, take away all of it, take away the barricade, the dodge, and it's strictly movement and gunplay. Yeah, it seems boring. Take away the shoulder charge also. Titans, I don't forget about you. Uh, take away the Icarus dash, take away the Hunter flip, shatter dive, strand shatter dive. Take away all of that. Make it rely on gunplay. Uh, but that thought process gets interrupted very quick because of Cronus and Zen or Zim. And I know Bungie. I don't know how recent, but I know they have stated in the past that they don't see Cronus as cheating. So that honestly means more people are just going to go buy it, and it's upsetting to hear that because you have games like Fortnite who says it is cheating, and then you have games like Call of Duty who say nothing about it. But to have Bungie come out and say that it's not cheating, there lies a problem in that. Grenader Jake even said recently that Cronus and Zen are already a problem, and with Bungie stating that, it's going to become more of a problem, and I 100% agree. If you're a controller player on Xbox or PlayStation, you will see more of these. And at $200 a pop, this company is making a fortune. One of my military buddies who I play Destiny with recently purchased one just to see what you could do with it. He doesn't play with it. It's not on his computer or it's not on his Xbox. We just downloaded the files to see what was in it. Sprint lock. You can activate sprint lock. Um, I didn't know that was a feature Bungie added. Uh, you can activate skating. So when you're jumping, uh, you can press it and it inputs it, but it'll jump you at the right time so you can be faster. Aim assist. It will help with aim assist. We tested, I think, 6 guns, 3 submachine guns, and a couple auto rifles and a hand cannon to see the recoil pattern and to see if the aim assist actually makes a difference. And Yeah, it actually takes the recoil away from most of your weapons. Um, the drop shot, or in Destiny, the teabag shot, where you see that player. Now, I understand some players have incorporated this technique into their gameplay, but let's be serious. Most of the abusers of this, who do it every time, are Cronus users. When you pull the trigger, you crouch. You pull the trigger, you crouch. You crouch and stand up. You crouch and stand up, and you're just tiggy-bagging the air. And usually, when I beat you, you get upset. But we need, as a PvP community, we need Bungie to actually come out against Cronus, because this is going to be a problem, and it's going to persist, and it's going to fester. It's only going to get worse. Um, and from this gaming, from our community, I don't think that there's a lot to ask about it. I don't think that the community's asking. I know some people are asking for a lot, but I think most of us are pretty content with where Destiny is. I think most of us just want a few things. We want, for Mylan and Bife over there, and even Ascross, give us the lore, give us the story, and give us fun, engaging gameplay. That's all we're wanting. Most of us, that's all we want. Give us the lore, good character development, not sexual orientation. Don't care about that. And give us a good story. Uh, then you get to the PvP side. Maps. We want better maps. You're fixing some of the connection based issues, and I agree with it, and some of the flaws issues, so I agree with that. But the outright blatant cheating with Cronus, you have to come out against that. Uh, and give PvP players something to actually go after. When we had that pinnacle, mountaintop, Revoker, Not Forgotten, Luna's Howl, man, everybody was going for those. Like, give us something like that. It doesn't have to be all of them. Just give us a little taste of the pie. Um, but give us something to go after in PvP. Uh, but I don't think that besides those maybe 5 or 6 things, I don't think everybody's asking for too much. I think most of us want basically the same thing. We want Bungie to succeed, and we want fellow Guardians to succeed as well. Um, and if I get hate for the political comments, or if you don't like my take on one of the things, leave a comment, man. We'll get into a we can get into Discord or into Xbox, or we can talk about it. I'm not here trying to spread hate or bitch out anybody. Like, we all want the same thing from this. We all want to make this game better. And I know Bungie wants to make this game better. They want people playing it. Um, but yeah, if y'all have any questions, comments, if you want to get into a fire team, or if you want to get into a Discord or a party chat and just talk, about anything. If you want to run a raid, if you want to play some Iron Banana, just feel free to leave a comment and we'll get in touch and we'll hang out and do whatever y'all want to. But that's it for the video, guys, and like and subscribe and see ya.